Hello and welcome to Stocks, Stories and Skills. Today we will discuss the CDSL story. In the pre-COVID period, the CDSL stock was range bound between 100 to 200 rupees. Post-COVID, the stock jumped from 200 to 1900 rupees, a CAGR of 76%. In the last 4 years, between 2020 to 2024, the stock is 9x. This kind of return is very unusual on the Dalal Street. Will the rally sustain? Let's discuss the 5 risk factors in CDSL stock. CDSL operates as a securities depository, earning stable revenue from Demat account maintenance and variable income from transaction processing, IPOs and corporate services. Its annuity-based model is supported by high operating leverage and minimal credit risk. This is the chart of CDSL's key financial parameter. Let's start with the book value. It has a book value of 84 rupees. The face value of this share is rupees 10. The stock P is 58. And if you look at the high and low, it is 1990 and the low is 1918. If you look at the ROCE, it has a very high return on capital employed, 41%. ROE is also very high, 32%. Both are very favorable. The market cap is around 30,000. Current market price is 1471. Dividend yield is 0.64. Now, let's look at some of the valuation parameter. How this company should be valued. The easy way is to look at the PE, which looks very high, 58, as compared to the index PE or PE of many large companies. But let's look at some other financial metrics or the valuation metrics. Now, one very important valuation metric is the discounted cash flow analysis. It actually estimates the present value of future cash flows. Now, platform like Simply Wall Street, they have suggested that based on DCF, CDSL's intrinsic value is significantly lower than the current market price. So they have valued it at around 352 rupees, whereas the market price is more than 1471. So that indicates a overvaluation, but this should not be the only parameter through which we should look at CDSL. दूसरा एक बहुत बड़ा important parameter है PEG ratio. This is price to earning to growth. Now it adjusts the P ratio for earning growth, and a PEG of less than 1, a PEG of higher than 1 signals overvaluation. तो अगर हम PEG का भी टेस्ट करें यहाँ पर तो इसका PEG ratio भी 1 से ज़्यादा है, तो यहाँ पर भी it indicates higher valuation. तीसरा एक important method है relative valuation versus peers. So NSDL unlisted है, CAMS है, KFIN Technologies है. तो अगर हम उनको भी देखें तो CDSL trades at a premium P, compared to CAMS, KFIN and other capital market infrastructure or intermediaries kind of companies. So all the valuation metrics indicates overvaluation. In case of CDSL, but this is a debt-free company. They have a majority share, market share, almost operate like a monopoly. Very high ROE, ROC. They don't need any capital in future. So I suggest we should look at all the parameters, but we should be very careful in taking a very long position in this stock. Maybe a staggered approach one should follow. In this chart, we'll correlate the revenue, net profit and the Demat accounts growth. So if you look at FY19, the revenue was just 200 rupees. Net profit was almost half of it, 114, and the Demat accounts were around 2 crore. Next year 228, 137, 2.5. That's where the things change. FY21, 344, 200 and 3 crore Demat. Demat jumped to 6 crores. Profit jumped from 200 to 300. Revenue almost 2x here. Then if you go to 23, Demat again jumped 6 crores to 8.5 crore. Profit 300 to 400, 543 to 812, the revenue. 24, Demat jumped from 8.5 to 11. Profit jumped from 419 to 419. I mean, not much increase, 812 to 1088. And then FY25, 1200, 500 to 6 crore profit, and 1129, Demat account holder. So if we see this growth in the last 4-5 years, we have seen a huge growth in the Demat account, and that in a way reflected in the performance. So will the Demat account grow in the same fashion in the next 3 to 5 years? I doubt. There will be a gradual growth, but not a hockey stick kind of a growth there. So अगर हम देखें post COVID boom in Demat account opening, I mean that was a major tailwind for CDSL, but that growth is now showing signs of saturation. So CDSL benefited immensely with the Demat account growing from 2 crore to over 9 crore. This surge drove strong revenue growth from account maintenance, transaction fees, and IPO related activities. As of FY24, monthly new additions have slowed down significantly in the Demat accounts, and slower Demat account in a way is slower top line expansion for CDSL. So that we have to keep in mind. So this is the the revenue and the profit chart, and that we have discussed in the earlier chart. But इसमें एक important point ये है, in the last 4-5 साल में the revenue or profit they have grown at a CAGR of 30% plus. तो वो एक बहुत interesting element है last 4-5-6 साल के growth का CDSL. ये एक interesting चार्ट है बुल एंड द बियर फेजेस ऑफ BSE Sensex. तो ये एक तरह से रिस्क फैक्टर इसलिए है कि लास्ट 4-5 साल में जो मार्केट में ग्रोथ हुआ है वो आने वाले दिनों में उसी पेस में नहीं होगा. सो ये एक रिस्क फैक्टर है बिकॉज परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ CDSL इज डायरेक्टली लिंक्ड विद द बॉयंसी इन द कैपिटल मार्केट. तो 95 में अगर हम देखें तो ये एक बुल फेज था. उसके बाद 2003 में एक बियर फेज आया. मार्केट वॉज फ्लैट. देन अगेन देयर इज अ बुल फेज फ्रॉम 2003. देन यू विल सी देयर इज a bear phase here. 2009 में again there is a bear phase here. Then 2010, then 20 में कोविड के टाइम में मार्केट गिरा था. उसके बाद नाउ ये सितंबर 2024 में टच करने के बाद again there is a a bear phase we can say. So ऐसे फेजेस में जरा सी अनसर्टेनिटी रहेगी. तो अगर मैं आगे 1 या 2 साल देखूं तो हो सकता है 1 और 2 साल चैलेंजिंग रहे CDSL के लिए. ये एक चार्ट है IPO एक्टिविटी का जिसमें हमने लास्ट 4-5 साल मैप किए हैं IPO के. एंड आप ये अपने स्क्रीन में देख सकते हैं कि इसमें हमने ग्रोथ एक्सेलरेशन, बूम, मार्केट करेक्शन, रिकॉर्ड IPOs और द अपडेट इन द फर्स्ट क्वार्टर ऑफ 2025 दे रखा है. तो अगर इसको आप क्लोजली देखेंगे तो इसमें कुछ ऑब्जर्वेशन है विच आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू. FY22 अगर आप देखें दैट मार्क द हाईएस्ट फंड रेजिंग विद 1,24,000 crore raised across more than 50 IPOs, and that was driven by strong market sentiment and large offering. FY23 अगर देखें तो it experienced decline in both the number of IPOs and also the fund raise, and that in a way reflected market volatility and investor caution and all that. FY24 में अगर आप आएंगे तो saw a resurgence in IPO activity, with 76 companies raising some 61,000 crore, indicating a renewed investor confidence. FY25 में अगर फर्स्ट क्वार्टर में आए तो 62 IPOs raised around 23,000 crore, suggesting a robust pipeline and continued market interest. तो अगर अभी हम देखें तो pipeline because काफ़ी IPOs हैं, but will they get the right valuation? एक IPO इस तरह चलते हैं, अगर लोग IPO में पैसा बनाते हैं तो वो again that money comes back. तो ये हमें अब देखना पड़ेगा 2025 में कि रिटेल इन्वेस्टर का एक्सपीरियंस क्या है IPOs में, और आने वाली जो पाइपलाइन है नेक्स्ट 2 क्वार्टर्स में और 3 क्वार्टर्स में कैसी रहेगी. दैट विल बी अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट determinant for CDSL. So as you can see, CDSL's market performance is totally dependent on buoyancy in the stock market. तो अगर हम एक पहला बड़ा फैक्टर देखें तो वो है डीमैट अकाउंट ग्रोथ का, जो आने वाले दिनों में नेक्स्ट 3 to 5 ईयर विल बी ग्रेजुअल, बट हॉकी स्टिक और द काइंड ऑफ चेंज वी हैव सीन पोस्ट कोविड वैसा नहीं रहेगा. नंबर 2, लास्ट 4-5 साल में स्टॉक मार्केट हैज़ गॉन अप बिग टाइम. अगेन आने वाले हम 3 से 5 साल देखें तो बहुत बड़ा जंप नहीं आ सकता है, बट देयर विल बी ग्रेजुअल राइज. बट नेक्स्ट इमीडिएट अगर हम देखें नेक्स्ट 1 or 2 ईयर तो काफ़ी चैलेंजिंग लगते हैं. एंड नंबर 3 इज़ द IPO पाइपलाइन. पाइपलाइन लुक्स रॉबस्ट, बट परफॉर्मेंस और IPO में क्या गेन्स होंगे वो बहुत ज़्यादा मैटर करता है मार्केट में अगेन जो मनी रिसाइकिल होती है. सो एज यू कैन सी देयर आर many risk factor and investor have to be very cautious in this stock. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next one.